There's this conversation that keeps popping up everywhere lately. On Instagram, on Reddit, in YouTube comments, people saying college is a scam, that it's pointless, that it ruined their life. And then on the other side, you've got people saying the exact opposite, that college was the best thing they ever did, that it gave them direction, friends, a career. I feel like both sides sound right, because depending on who you are, college can either feel like a stepping stone or like a really expensive mistake you are still paying for years later. And I don't think the conversation is as simple as go or don't go. That's lazy. Starting at the beginning, for a long time, college was sold as the answer. You study, you work hard, you get a degree, you'll be fine. That was the deal. And for a while, it actually worked. A degree meant stability, respect, options. So parents passed that belief down. Schools repeated it. Society locked it in as the default path. If you didn't know what to do with your life, the solution was easy. Just go to college. You will figure it out there. And the problem is that promise doesn't really hold up anymore. People graduate with degrees and still feel lost, still broke, still unsure what they're supposed to do next. Some end up working jobs that have nothing to do with what they studied. Some need more schooling just to be considered qualified. Some feel like they paused real life for 4 years and came back to the same confusion, just with debt attached. And that's where the anger comes from. Not because education is bad, but because expectations were set way too high. In some countries, college is affordable. In others, especially the US, it's insanely expensive. You are asking people to make one of the biggest financial decisions of their life at 17 or 18, before they even know who they are. That alone is kind of wild when you think about it. You're told that this is an investment in your future, but nobody explains the risk. What if the job market changes? What if your degree isn't valued anymore? What if you graduate into a bad economy? Suddenly that investment feels less like a plan and more like a gamble. And I'm not even talking about the possibility that you might not even like the job you end up working in. Another thing nobody really talks about is how disconnected some degrees feel from actual work. You spend years learning theory, writing papers, passing exams. Then you enter the real world and realize nobody cares about half of what you studied. They care about experience, they care about skills, they care about what you can actually do. That gap is brutal for some people. They don't feel stupid, they feel misled. But here's where the scam argument falls apart. Calling college a scam across the board just isn't true. Some paths absolutely require it. If you want to be a doctor, there's no YouTube tutorial for that. If you want to be a lawyer, engineer, researcher, you need formal education. And beyond careers, college gives some people something they genuinely need: structure. Not everyone thrives figuring life out on their own. Not everyone wants to hustle online or build something from scratch. For some people, college is the first time they live independently, meet different kinds of people, learn how to actually think critically, and fail in a relatively safe environment. That matters more than people admit. The real issue isn't college, it's going without intention. A lot of people don't go because they're excited. They go because they're scared of falling behind, scared of disappointing their parents, scared of choosing wrong. So college becomes a delay button, a socially acceptable way to not decide yet. And that's where things start to hurt. Now we live in a time where you constantly see people succeeding without college. Creators, freelancers, people building things online. And that's great, but it also creates a new illusion. It makes it seem like skipping college automatically leads to freedom. Like you'll just figure it out if you are brave enough. That's not true either. For every visible success, there are thousands of people quietly failing, lost, unstable, burned out. They just don't go viral for that. I think the real problem is treating college as a default instead of a choice. It shouldn't be, this is what you do after school. It should be, does this make sense for the life you want? That question alone changes everything. If you ask me, college works when you know what you're aiming for, the degree clearly connects to that path, you understand the cost, you are using it as a tool, not a guarantee. In those cases, it can be incredibly powerful. When does college hurt? College hurts when you go just to avoid thinking, you expect it to fix your uncertainty, you take on debt without a plan, and you're forcing yourself into a system that doesn't fit you. That's when people leave feeling betrayed. The uncomfortable truth. No system can replace self-awareness. College can't decide for you. Skipping college can't decide for you. Nothing will. And that's what makes this whole thing so stressful. People want certainty. College used to represent that. Now it doesn't. So is college worth it? For some people, absolutely. For others, not at all. It's not a scam. But it's not a guarantee either. It's a tool. And like any tool, it's useless if you don't know what you're trying to build. If there's one thing that actually matters, it's this. Don't let fear make the decision for you. Not fear of missing out, not fear of falling behind, not fear of disappointing someone else. Whether you go or not, the responsibility doesn't disappear. You are still the one who has to live with the outcome. And that's uncomfortable, but it's also very honest. You got this.